Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button. What a show, what a show, what a show. It's not even about everything going the way I wanted it to go. It's about the flow. It's about switching songs out and adding new songs in. And right about now, that DMB post show stream is set to begin. What more can I say? Today was a good day.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Chicago, what up? Evanston, what up? Schaumburg, what up? Gary, Indiana, right across the border, what up? Waukegan, what up? Northbrook, what up? Highland Park, what up? Deep Dish Pizza, what up? Peoria, what up? Rockford, what up? Southside, what up? Wrigleyville, what up? Lincoln Park, what up? Connor Bedard, what up? What up, Betsy? You shouldn't have went to Chicago, but you're a good talent. They should have took them draft picks away. The Bulls, the Bears, the Cubs, White Sox, what up? Chicago Sky, what up?
Man, you sound good just saying check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2.
What up, what up? It's your boy Conserviz 34. What a time to be alive. The D&B regular season has begun. Let's pull up this set list. But yeah, since Deer Creek, this day's been on fire. He pulled up to freaking Creek and he had him some fun, right? He did that. He went to Boulder, Colorado. No. Before that, he went to the Hamptons. Shout out Robert Kraft, an owner who actually paid for most of his stadium, played for him. Then he went to Boulder, Colorado. And John Woodbury is going to be on the stream. John was at the Boulder show Dave guested at, and he was here tonight back in his hometown of Chicago. And now Dave is in Chi-Town, continuing the cycle. We get no Bayou, no Methane Poster, no Shake Me Like a Monkey, no Don't Drink the Water. This show was great. Are there better shows? If you look at a set, is it the best show of all time? Absolutely not. But the strategy for this show was brilliant. Okay. What's been the issue with some shows here? The new songs have slowed down sets and killed momentum. So what did they do tonight? They played It Could Happen, but where did they play It Could Happen? At the 10 spot. On the other side of It Could Happen, you have a Madman's Fake and a Squirm. On the behind, right before it, was a brick house, a too much fake in the brick house. So it could happen is a quieter song that builds up a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But they put it smack in the middle of two bangers that got the crowd moving. You may not like Brick House, but it gets the crowd moving. What else did we see? We saw Monsters at the 6th spot, but guess what happened before it? Hello again. Guess what happened after it? Lie in Our Graves. Strategic placement of the new songs. An album that's a little bit more quieter. And we only get 3 new songs from Walk Around the Moon. That is great. We got a whole nother night. You could add 3 more. That's 6. 6 of the songs from the new album. Cool. What else did they do? The other thing that they did was the post-Roy albums. They picked the right ones. Now, when my auntie says you picked the right one, that means you done messed up, okay? When she said you picked the right one, you better run.
Bruh.
But when Dave picks the right one, ones, plural, the sets are better. What did he pick from Away from the World? He picked Sweet. Is it the best song off of this album? Absolutely not.
Nope.
But it is a song that is better than some of the other songs that don't translate well live. And it is a song that has an awesome spot with an awesome jam at the end that I love. Let's look at Big Whiskey. An album that in the studio format is a good album, right? But to me, I'm sick and tired. We got it from the moment it came out all the way through to a couple years ago. That album was beat to death.
Bruh.
So what do? They play Squirm from that album. A song that is very unique, is not too rock heavy, and is a favorite of many people, not only for the composition of the song, but the lyrics. Now, here we go. We're going to move on to Come Tomorrow. Come Tomorrow is an album you guys know I'm not a huge fan of a lot of it. I love Black and Bluebird. I love Virginia in the Rain. And I love Idea of You. And what songs did they pick from the album tonight? They picked Virginia in the Rain. And they picked Idea of You. Great songs to pick from that album. We don't need anything else. The rest of the songs mostly have been played to death outside of Black and Bluebird. So to me, what I love about this, there is something for everybody in this set. The new songs from the newest album, Walk Around the Moon, were strategically placed, and the post-Roy albums had great picks from them. What happened? What got you? Anyone know what happened a couple of days ago on social media with Usher? Anyone? Let's see what the chat says. We'll get to the calls in a second. Anyone know what happened with Usher? What happened with Usher? Let's see if anyone in the chat knows. There was a situation with Usher, right? Why was there an issue with Usher? What was the backlash? It was because Keke Palmer's baby daddy went on social media to vent instead of addressing the problem with his girl. Usher was dancing up on Keke Palmer. Listen, first of all, don't ever let your girl go to an R&B show by herself. Right? Mrs. Conserviz will always have me by her side. We gotta go together, right?
Bruh.
But so homeboy was at home, probably watching the kid, and Keke Palmer was dancing with Usher, and it was. And anyone would have felt away if their girl was dancing with Usher. Usher was smooth. But the issue was he brought it to social media, meaning what is a good thing about Sometimes what people don't do is what is great in a relationship, a friendship, a partnership. If he did not go to social media, he had every right to be mad, but he addressed it with his girl. They had a conversation ahead of time. All of this could have been avoided. And what they did not play tonight is equally as important as what they did play. And again, I'm not saying this, they're not going to play everything I want in a show like this, but I would have, this is a phenomenal show because of what they did play and what they didn't play. No, don't drink the water, no Bayou, right? No Jimmy thing. They do Brick House, the too much fake into Brick House. The Brick House standalone they did a couple shows ago, it did not hit. So they decided to do the too much fake in the Brick House. What you don't do and what you do are equally as important in life. And what they didn't do tonight was a lot of stuff that I'm glad they did not do. Right? So this is a phenomenal show. We'll talk to some fans here. We want to hear what they thought of that Paul Simon cover, what they thought of the granny opener. A granny in the first 3 spots is amazing. Encore, again, what they didn't do is equally as important. There was no Shake Me Like a Monkey closer. Now, some people may say, I don't like So Damn Lucky, right? And Hines, you haven't heard So Damn. It is. I don't even think it's ever been played as an encore closer. I don't think it's ever been played as an encore closer. I haven't checked. There's like 20 instances when it's in the encore. I need to do a little more math. I love them closing with that song, right? It's unique. It's different. They're not closing every show. They close Shake Me, 2 or 3 shows in a row? That's a unique closer. And what we're getting here is we're getting more of an idea of, listen, is every encore going to be this like the best, rarest song ever? No. And sometimes, listen, if you don't like the song, leave and beat the traffic. Last time closing an encore was 7/16/10. Okay. So it did close. Let's take a look here. We'll take a look just to see. Right. There's no way anyone got it more than a bunch unless you were going across the country. 7/16/10. Oh, I guess it closed. Was that City? Okay, so it did close out. Okay, so in 2010. I don't mind it. And honestly, give me a good main set. I don't care. Like the encore. Now, again, if it's the last show of the tour, right? Or the last night of the gorge, perhaps maybe you want it. I'd rather them put their power into the main set and this nowadays. That's just how I feel. The encore, if they do a lot of great things, if they do a lot of so John's not gonna be able to join. Okay, he's not gonna be able to. All right, let's call Connor first and then we'll get to Jabo second. Let me just make sure I text Jabo. Again, thank you guys for your patience. Right. Thank you guys for your patience as we try to get people connected. All right, we're gonna call up our homie Connor F first, and get him on the stream by phone. All right. Connor?
Hi, what's up?
You are live on the post show stream. Tell us about tonight. What'd you think?
I'm just going to keep it short and sweet for now, but they kept the momentum from Deer Creek rolling. 5 tour debuts and that Paul Simon cover. I mean, I cannot complain one bit. It was a fantastic show.
What was your favorite part?
Probably getting Hello Again for the first time ever. I was losing it when they started playing Hello Again.
That's awesome. So first Hello Again for Connor. That is a great thing. And before the show, what was the energy of the crowd like? What was the chatter around town as the band was going to take the stage?
You know, it's a lot more casual than an Alpine crowd or a Deer Creek crowd. Usually I recognize a ton of people at the shows, but there are only a few people that I recognize today. And, you know, these Northerly shows don't get the buzz that Alpine or Deer Creek get. But it was still, you know, it was a packed house. The lawn seemed pretty full. The pavilion was completely full. So definitely a full show, but it wasn't as hyped up or it didn't have as much buzz as the other shows in the Midwest.
And is that typical of Northerly when you've been in the past? Or?
Yeah, I would say it's pretty typical. A lot more of just like a local casual crowd than, you know, not many people travel to Northerly Island, but, you know, just a lot more casual fan base there.
Gotcha. And it's the largest, as you know, as a local, largest city in the Midwest. So when something is in town, you're going to get a lot of those transplants or people that want to get out or want to see something right in the heart of the city. And let's walk through some of the fakes. What was going through your mind when they did the Too Much Fake in the Brick House?
You know, I'm not going to lie when I say this. I knew right away that the Too Much was going to be a fake. I just had no idea what they were going to segue it into. Part of me in my head, I got my hopes up a little bit thinking Raleigh 22 and going to Halloween, but then I realized, you know, I got back in reality and said to myself, it's too early in the set for them to do that. They're not going to do Halloween at Northerly. And then they went into Brick House, which I'm a huge fan of the Brick House, so I'm completely okay with that as well. I wasn't disappointed. Now, but I knew right away that Too Much was going to be a tease. I just didn't know what it was going to go into.
Were you at the show where they did it standalone? Was that the Summerfest show? That they did Brick? Let's take a look here.
I think it was Merriweather. They did the standalone Brick House because I know at Summerfest they did Jimmy singing the Brick House.
Oh, they did. Let's take a look here. Merriweather. Oh, let's see. We're looking at this. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So yeah, that was Merriweather. There you go. Okay. So it was not. But did it land as far as not going into Jimmy thing? You saw it in Milwaukee, Jimmy thing in the Brick House. How did it land from the fake of Too Much in this set?
No, it got the crowd going, you know, like you were saying in the monologue, you know, Brick House gets that crowd going. I think that they did that perfectly well. They executed that perfectly. I think that that's something that they should do. Maybe not a whole lot, but definitely like Spack or West Palm should get a treat like that. The Too Much Fake in the Brick House.
Yeah, and it's definitely a interesting thing. And then we have the Madman's Eyes fake. What was going through your mind? Did you see the guitar change? What did you think was going to happen there?
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of go back a little bit into It Could Happen. I was too busy filming Buddy at that moment, kind of getting like the outro of that going. I never saw the guitar change. So right when I saw Jeff playing the alto sax, I believe, whatever the skinny one is.
Soprano.
And he didn't. Yeah, soprano. Okay, thank you. He had his soprano sax without the baritone sax. I knew it was going to be a Madman's tease. But I was thinking minarets the whole time, just like Deer Creek. I'm saying everyone around me, I'm going to video the intro of minarets. Hear this place go crazy. But they went into Squirm instead because I completely missed the guitar change. Totally faked me out as well. But I'm in on the Squirm. You know, I'm not going to complain about a Squirm ever.
Yeah. What do you think of Idea of You as after that?
I was a big fan of the Idea of You. I listened to that song a lot growing up, especially the Fenway Park live tracks version. And part of me, I'm still salty that they changed the lyrics from the Fenway Park version, but I've always liked the Idea of You. It was my first time since 2019 getting the Idea of You. Same with Recently as well. But 2 songs I haven't gotten in a while come back. I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly cool with the Idea of You.
Yeah, Dave put it on an album finally after all these years and then played it even less than when it was not on an album. It was an interesting twist there where, like I said, you got it in 2019, but it really has not gotten many plays. If we go to or pulling up the chart here, I mean,
I don't even think it got played at all last year.
Twice in 2022. Let's see, what was this? Yeah, Woodlands, like really early on, Woodlands got it.
Oh, and that was a Sirius XM show too. I listened to that show, I believe.
Yeah, so it really only been played since the pandemic. This was the 3rd time it's been played.
Wow.
2018 got some love in June and July, and then Gorge. 2019 got June, but mostly July, and that's it. But in 2016, there were more plays in 2016 than 2019. 2013 has more plays than any year after it. And then 2006, 2007, they played it more those years by far than they did as far as the year the album came out. And even the album release year is overshadowed by 2013, 2006, and 2007. So it's just one of those things where it was a song people loved. And what I attribute that to, that Fenway changeup, it is, again, the self-sabotage of Dave Matthews. And sometimes it's just he forgets things, or he's not feeling it, right? But
and he could have just sang those lyrics on the fly as well. Like, he always changes them up.
Right. And Eli_M says, why doesn't it get much playtime? It's because Dave isn't feeling it. By that, I mean, he in 06 and 07, it was a fresh new song. He really felt it. 08, he still played a little more. He took some time off. If Dave is not feeling a song, if he doesn't think it's right, if he's not confident in playing with it or fitting it into a mood of a set or tour, it does not get played. Doesn't matter how great it is. Some of his best songs, some of his easiest songs, Spoon is an easy song, hardly played. Blue Water is one of like the easiest Dave Matthews Band song, 2 chords, and it's partialed rarely nowadays.
Right.
So, and
and that's the same thing like with the song Spotlight back in the 90s. Dave completely scrapped it just because he didn't like it. I like the song. I listen to it from time to time, but he just doesn't like it, so he completely scrapped it.
Right. Yeah. So that's how it is. It's his show to run. We can agree or disagree, but art is subjective, and art for Dave, unlike some artists can be non-emotional and just play stuff. Dave has to have that emotions. He has to have the love. He does not have a business marriage with his songs. He has to have a heartfelt, Dear John, The Notebook type love with the song. Otherwise, it's not going to be played.
Right.
And let's go really quickly. Let's go to posters. Let's see. We'll get your picture up here. So poster line. What time did you get there today?
We got to the venue around 3:15. We were just kind of walking around. We saw on Facebook that there was a gathering going on at the venue, so we were kind of looking for it. We just stumbled upon this merch line. I've never even seen outdoor merchandise at this venue before. I didn't even think it was feasible just because of, most people having to park a long ways away from the venue. But I was perfectly fine with having the outside merch.
Did the posters sell out inside?
It actually did not. We walked around the lawn on the way back. They moved an entrance out of the lawn, so we thought we would just dip out of the side entrance, but they blocked it off. So we went back around that merch tent, and there were still posters at the end of the show.
Oh, maybe that's that cat. You think it's the casual fan base?
Yeah, right. There's not as many hardcore people. Northerly Island's not a desirable venue to go to. So,
Okay.
and that, yeah.
So we'll pull up the poster. What did you think of the poster tonight?
No, at the beginning, I saw a tease on. It was actually John Woodbury. He sent me a photo of the tease, and at first I was kind of iffy on it, but when I saw it in person, the gold in the art sparkles, and I got to see the whole thing. It really grew on me. I'm a big fan of this poster. It represents the city very well, so I'm glad that I picked it up, and I'm very happy with it tonight.
Yeah, and it was Delicious Design League. This is a local Chicago poster or art company here. I'm actually gonna.
They did the poster for the United Center last fall for one of the Troll in the basketball. They did that.
Oh, they did. So interesting. They went back, and I will say, I love when they go local because you get something that is local. You may get an artist that can then continue to grow. Obviously, I was reading the story of them and how they kind of came out with the name, things like that earlier. And just awesome that they're giving love to a local artist, not another Methane poster, but something very unique here.
Right, I agree with that 100%. And it seems like Methane has kind of pumped the brakes a little bit. We haven't gotten a Methane in a while. I'm hoping I don't jinx myself for tomorrow, but we haven't gotten one of those in a while. I'm cool with that 100%.
Yeah. Maybe they're hearing the feedback. We appreciate Methane for what they've done. I don't want them to go away permanently, but I think it should be reduced more and more. Allow other artists to get some love.
Right. They don't need to have a poster one every 4 shows.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree 100%. So very cool there. Any other final thoughts?
I'm just excited to see what tomorrow brings. I'm very intrigued. I didn't think that they'd keep the momentum from Deer Creek going, but they clearly did. Anything's on the table at this point with all these. Well, I should say anything is under the table, and we're dreaming at this point for something, cool like what you are. But I'm excited for tomorrow.
And still chasing your first What You Are, right?
I'm hoping for tomorrow.
All right. Well, hey, it could happen. It could happen.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Connor. We'll check in with you tomorrow, and have a good rest of your night.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. You have a good rest of your night as well.
All right. You too. Peace.
Peace.
All right. We want to thank Connor for coming on the stream. I appreciate him always checking in. And we're gonna try to get J-Bo on. John Woodbury can't make it tonight. But J-Bo, he's like me from Connecticut, but he's out in Salt Lake City. We talked to him after that show, but he decided to hit up the Shy for tonight. So we want to reach out to him. We'll try to get Jessica and Wayne on as well. Oops. Let me just see some. I'm adjusting the levels here. Turn my headphones up. Okay. All right, let's see if we get J-Bo.
What's up, Marcus?
What up? How you doing, J-Bo?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. You're live on the stream. What did you think of this Chicago show?
Well, first and foremost, I am so sorry I miss you in Hartford, man.
Oh, no worries. I know the lines were the opening day for that venue, and the lines were just they were long. So no worries. But yeah, tell us about this experience tonight.
Yeah, it was good, man. I didn't have a chance to listen to whoever was on before you, but man, what a place to come to. Obviously, I would have taken the flight last weekend, but we actually are out here for a couple friends' birthday, and it's just icing on the cake that DMB was playing. So, dude, awesome. I'm sure the people before you were covering the bust outs, but I want to hear about it. And I'll talk about it more.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what do you think about some of these tour debuts and these long loved songs back on the set list? Hello Again recently, Idea of You. Feels like it's the middle two thousands.
Dish tonight, man. Dish was awesome. Just really fun digging a Dish. I can't believe they played that. And obviously recently, Idea, incredible, man. I know you were out here last year, and we'll have to link up, but just incredible night one. I ended up rolling solo, and we got a crew going tomorrow. But the people I went with tonight, just meeting new friends, as you know, at a DMB show, and just what a great Friday set compared to a couple weeks ago, which is great. Which is great because they've been busting them out the last couple Fridays.
Yeah. Now, what would you say the loudest moment or the most energetic moment was as far as a crowd reaction to a song or a part of a song?
Ooh. I mean, so many different answers to that. Maybe I hate to say it, but like just a classic, which I know you listeners don't want to hear, but the Ants in the encore. But it makes me realize that this place is definitely full of a few diehards, with all the tour debuts before that.
Yeah, Connor said he felt like it was a lot of casuals there. Like there were, obviously there's always people who go there, try to go as many shows as possible. Did it feel like it was a lot of people who may have only known those hits?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time out here, which is awesome, and I hope to come back. But we'll be out here tomorrow night, but for weekends to come and years to come. But I don't know. I think that it was definitely the hardcores knew, the TVs and the deep cuts. So that was awesome.
Okay. And what did you think? So the encore, Funny How Time Slips Away, Virginia in the Rain, but they end with So Damn Lucky for the first time since 2010. How did you feel walking away from a show that ended with that? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did it feel weird? Or
obviously I didn't love it, but just given the night and more tour debuts, it was pretty solid, but kind of brought me back to the old days, the old Atlantic City, going across the bridge, So Damn Lucky. I didn't make it out to Chicago that year for the Caravan, and but we had that back in Atlantic City for that 2011. So, I just like you, Marcus, and a lot of your listeners right now, we don't want So Damn Lucky to end the set, but Virginia in the Rain, and the encore is solid.
Yeah. I actually said my thing was this. I'd rather them end with So Damn Lucky. It's been a while, like I said, 2010 since they closed out. I'd rather them do that than a Don't Drink the Water, a Shake Me Like a Monkey. So I actually I thought it was a positive thing. Obviously, I wasn't there. I think it's better to do something unique than to just have this I don't know, just have it like they've been playing this closer a bunch of times and it's not a good song. It's not two-step. It's not, I don't like Don't Drink the Water closing shows. I've walked out. I don't like Shake Me Like a Monkey. They've played some songs in the encore to close out that I'm like, eh. So I was actually positive on that just to give you my take. But I know everyone's different. There are some people in the chat that said they wouldn't want it to end on So Damn Lucky. So there are some people who are saying that.
So what's the take, since I couldn't hop on before this, what's the take on Evening, the new one?
I didn't really ask it. Everyone in the chat, if you want to give your opinions, it seems like this is a popular thing. People were happy. There's been a lot of people wanting him to do "You Can Call Me Al" from Paul Simon. So
Sure.
any Paul Simon that I already see, and shout out to Ryan D from Central Massachusetts. He's like, I already see, he's already gonna be annoyed by not the playing of it, but like the people online saying, "Oh my gosh, he did Paul Simon." So it we'll have to see what it is. I think we're gonna see online, so like social media, people are gonna go nuts for this and want it more and more. The casual fan base will react to it depending on how they are. The older casual fans, the younger casual fans, if it's a venue that has younger fans, they may not react. What was the crowd like? Did they go nuts? Were they confused? What was it like when they?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I definitely. I had bought a seat last minute because out here it's a friend's birthday, and then my girlfriend has seen now 10-day shows, but she's like, yeah, if you want to go to night one solo, so I'm actually going to meet up with them here soon. But it was funny because I didn't really know what was going on, as did a lot of people. And I had like seats up in the threes, but I was able to walk around a lot, so that was pretty solid. And I don't think a lot of people knew what was going on, so that was cool, you know?
And that may be, again, I don't know. I've only been to Chicago once, but that's where I think the age matters. You got
Mhm.
people in the chat like Mile High Dad that Paul Simon is going to mean something completely different than people that grew up like me and you in the 90s, that were 90s kids, unless our parents were playing Paul Simon. I know my friend who got me in the DMB, his wife's parents, they loved Paul Simon, so she loves them. And Pete, my friend who got me in, he loves him. But I didn't grow up with Paul Simon in my house. Um, I've discovered many artists, but it's not like a Paul Simon cover is not gonna hit like to me compared to even a Neil Young cover, because I was listening to Neil Young in my teenage and college years. It's not gonna hit like a Peter Gabriel cover, which again, Live in Athens is my favorite, one of my favorite live albums of all time. Not my favorite, one of them. So I think that's where the age of the crowd, if this was a younger crowd, again, I don't know, or if you were in an area where maybe you have some younger fans that were born in the 90s, they may not react to this like they react to other covers. But if you have some older fans that were 80s kids or 70s kids, Paul Simon is going to be someone that they probably really looked up to, or were just in a time where it just was that he was more relevant. Not that he's an icon, but the further away from his prime and his come up, the less people are going to fully feel that impact. So it
So
always.
what had more of a reaction without getting a chance to like look on everything? Was it more recently? Hello again, or obviously I got thrown a ditch there, man, like that.
I think I haven't had much time. I was out earlier listening to the show on the out at a cookout slash hangout, but Hello Again seemed to get a lot of reaction online. People were tagging me, "Oh, Hello Again." I think that's
Nice.
probably the biggest
Nice.
one recently. Again, I have to check, but I think it was Hello Again is what's probably the biggest. As far as at the beginning of that, when that was played, people were actually commenting on that there. But Paul Simon does have, I mean, he's a legend, he's an icon, so he does have a
Sure.
huge, especially with the DMB fans who were actually teenagers in the 90s. It's gonna get that, we have Shane on here, right? And that's really what's gonna get there. So any final thoughts about the show, about the experience?
No, just definitely very stoked to get to night one, and we got a bigger crowd sitting a little farther back tomorrow, so I'll keep you posted. But yeah, just very excited off of given earlier in the tour. I was like, Fridays, I don't know, but I missed Queens when I was back east, and I just had to go solo tonight. So yeah, we'll have a bigger crew tomorrow. I could give you some updates, but I'm sure you got some people will be a little closer and could give you better updates. But yeah, man, appreciate what you do, and go Huskies. And
Yes, sir.
I hope to link with you, man, at another time in person.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to catch up. I know we just keep missing each other. I know you were at a UConn game and I was somewhere else this fall. So safe travels, and we'll we hope you enjoy the show tomorrow. Take care.
I appreciate everything you do, Marcus, and we'll talk soon.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
All right, so that was J-Boat. He is again from Connecticut here. I actually grew up same area of Connecticut at the same time, graduated the same year. But he's in Salt Lake now, living there, and he came out, looks like, for some things here for some friends, hang out with some friends, and he's like, oh, well, let me go solo tonight for DMB, and tomorrow the whole squad will be there. All right. Let's go ahead and we got Jack waiting. Let's just give me 1 second and we'll set Jack up. Jack O'Brien wanted to come on from IG. He messaged me, and always, if you're new or want to come on for the first time, I'm always looking for various perspectives and always looking for new people to come on the stream so that we can get different perspectives, right? We have people like Connor who come on a lot, but I want to hear from as many people as possible. All right, almost ready here. All right, we're gonna bring on Jack. Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Marcus. How are you, my friend?
I am doing well myself. And are you local to this area? Are you like J-Bo who's flying in and not a local? What? Just walk us through kind of where you tie in relation to Chicago.
So I live in the southwest suburbs, probably about 35, 40 minutes outside the city. The World, if you're familiar, now I think it's like Credit One Amphitheater or something in Tinley Park, is about 10 minutes from my house. Preferred venue, sounds not great. Northerly Islands, a close second per se, I guess. But yeah, not too far away. Good local show.
Awesome. And yeah, I always wondered why. Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's because it's right in the heart of Chicago. Live Nation wants the traffic there, and they've invested in there. But I've always thought it makes more sense to have it in Tinley Park. Granted, I've never been there for a show, but Northerly's been the project for them to put acts like D&B there. And what'd you think of this show?
So I was a little skeptical about going tonight. Tonight was my 20th show. Unfortunately, I had to fly solo due to the group of friends and girlfriend who had work and other priorities. But tomorrow we'll be in the pit. But I had an incredible experience by myself. The set list I thought was very strong. Crowd at some points was a little dull, I think, on energy. But overall, I had very, very memorable, I'd say.
And is this more of like a casual people who live in the city? Maybe they've moved out here and trying to go, or just not as big fans? Is that like the vibe here for the crowd?
I think you have a wide disparity between people who really, really love Dave and the band and want to hear all the deep tracks. And then you have people who, there was some dude next to me that they were halfway through the set and he's like, I've only heard one song that I know. So then you have that, different repertoire people, but they definitely thoroughly enjoyed it towards the end with some of the, the more classic songs that they'd be familiar with.
Gotcha. What would you say the split is, like hardcore versus casual for this venue?
It might be like 75, 70 casual, 25, 30 hardcore for sure.
All right. And walk us through, because I want to know more about this. The Paul Simon cover late in the evening. A guest saxophonist, Ron Blake, comes on. What was the reaction in your area of the venue?
So in the reaction, there was a predominant little bit of more, senior DMB fans, I would say, in their timeline of things, but they picked up on the song immediately. I'm definitely a pretty big Paul Simon fan. That caught me completely off guard to hear that, which was pretty cool. I had to take a video, send it to my dad just because I know he'd appreciate it. But no, definitely, I think it was received pretty well by the crowd. I think it might stick moving forward.
Okay, gotcha. So this is definitely a song, even though you're a fan of Paul Simon, fan of DMB, this is one that you probably thought wouldn't be possible for him to cover, that he'd probably cover something like You Can Call Me Al or something on that end. Is that?
Yeah, completely spot on. Yeah, I thought I was thinking after obviously the show that he did do the Call Me
Yeah.
Al. I thought that would be an incredible segue into the summer because that is a fantastic song and he really killed it. But this was definitely a cool change up, which any new covers, which I'm fine with. Sledgehammer's kind of might be a hot take. Some people really enjoy it. I'm kind of on the ladder with that, so it's cool. I used to hear some new songs in the flesh now and then.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Sledgehammer, love Peter Gabriel, love his catalog, love what Lily White did with Peter Gabriel, but Sledgehammer's like it shouldn't be around. I know it got one play, but I'm the same way. I think something fresh is good here. Speaking of surprises, what did you think of the fakes? Madman's Eyes fake, and the Squirm, Too Much fake in the Brick House.
So going to the Madman's first, I anticipated it because I was at Deer Creek last week, and I thought that minaret segue was was absolutely awesome. So I figured they may go into that, but that was pretty cool segue from Madman's. Regardless, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then Brick House was. I'm happy they didn't play Jimmy Thing. Might be also another hot take. But typically my bathroom break song once I get to the jam portion. But no, I thought it was really good. That song's been pretty received well in the two shows that I've seen it live. So I think that may stick around for sure.
Okay, so you thought Brick House it landed okay after that fake?
Yeah, and then I think the people around me that I ended up becoming pretty solid friends with throughout the show, which was awesome with the community. We thought once they played So Much to Say, they'd roll in and Anyone Seen the Bridge back into Too Much, which we thought could be a possibility. But regardless, Too Much fake is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, and that was the other thing at the end of that encore. So Much to Say into Ants Marching. Was definitely something else there. What'd you think of the encore ending with So Damn Lucky?
So I like So Damn Lucky towards the middle or the end of a set. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of it closing, but listening to you earlier, definitely agree. Prefer not to hear Shake Me or any songs along that. I really appreciated Virginia in the Rain. I thought that was awesome. The people in our section weren't really privy to that song for sure, but I thought that was a really nice segue. And I love the 3-song closer. That's obviously the most ideal closing to a show that you could have. But I think I'd really like So Damn Lucky if another hot take, if they would just stop the thank you for letting me be myself. That does kind of get overbearing sometimes, but regardless, it was a good show or good way to end night one.
Gotcha. Yeah, and actually, what's funny, I don't mind the thank you during So Damn Lucky. I see why people don't like it. I just don't want them to actually play Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it once, I believe. That's all I need. I think even if at the end of a show like tonight, go into like I know it's the third song, but if So Damn Lucky was the first or second song in the encore, go into something more epic. I just think that the Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself, it's a waste of a slot at the end of a show. So I don't think they should transition into that song. I think it was at the Gorge when they did that song in full, and that's why they did it. But I think the fact they don't do that, I know they did that back in an era, around the 2010s, but I don't need it there. So for night 2, what are you looking forward to? What are your hopes?
Night 2, always a big Stone guy. That's probably my number one overall song. But Granny was really cool to hear. Night 1 obviously is an opener tonight. But night 2, I'm just excited for pretty much anything at this point. Deer Creek last week and this week, I'm pretty ecstatic and over my skis. So regardless, I'll be happy walking out of night 2. Hopefully they lock it down pretty good.
Yeah.
Or busted stuff. Actually, that's what I want to hear.
There you go, busted. Yeah, it's funny, even with a set like tonight, you get a bunch of debuts, all this other stuff. There's still so much that one can hope for, regard whatever your musical tastes are with Dave. There's always so much you could hope for, and unfortunately, there's only maybe 20 to 21 songs they'll play, but that's what makes it great. There's never ending possibilities. I hope you get the stone, and I hope there's some other surprises there, and that you get that busted stuff slid in there, which has been making its rounds randomly, completely randomly, in this tour year. You've had some people go to a bunch of shows, like 4 shows, and miss it. You had people go to the first couple shows of the year, and it was there. So it's just one of those things that I think is special about this chase, the ever chase of getting certain songs. So thank you for coming on, Jack, and enjoy the night tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Marcus. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for having me on.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that's Jack O'Brien, a local DMB fan to Chicago, lives out in the southwestern suburbs. They're great to get that perspective. Someone that's right by Tinley Park, but made the trek to Chi-Town proper, right on the lake, Northerly Island. Let's see. We'll try to. Let me just see if we got some other people that come on. Oops, I yawned. Oh, y'all saw that? Fill out your bingo card if you got that. It's Concert Viz yawn. Oh, by the way, I'm on what is that app? I just joined it. Threads. You guys can find me on Threads, Instagram, Twitter. We'll see what we'll do with Threads, man. It's another app. But I do like the idea of IG. I mean, Face Meta. Meta is getting some competition with Twitter. I think that'll help push Twitter to make improvements. The competition is great. So we'll see. I'll be putting some stuff on there. I had some content there. Actually, let's see. Whew. That's the seltzer. So let's actually we'll try to get Jessica and Wayne. I wanted to get to this because some people may say, okay, why are they doing Northerly? Why aren't they doing Alpine? And this is actually a great thing to look at. And before we get to that, shout out to Rashawn with the Ice Cube shirt on. Jessica took a picture of this. So you got that. I love Rashawn repping Ice Cube, a dope rapper who just obviously with NWA and then his solo career after that, man. Dude is a spitter, right? Yo, shout out to Ice Cube. And I love Rashawn repping Ice Cube. You don't see necessarily Rashawn having shirts like this on. Tim will have shirts. Sometimes Buddy reps his own apparel. Happy birthday to Buddy Strong. We'll get to that in a moment as well. But I love him repping Ice Cube here. I'm a little rusty, but that's it's a good day. That's actually the original, the sample from Whispers in the Dark, I think part 2. Footsteps in the Dark. Footsteps in the Dark. That's the Isley Brothers riff that Ice Cube sampled. Yeah, but anyway, I kind of messed that up. Anyway, so I love that. Great to see that. Oh, guitar playing 2 free square. Oh man. So Anyway, I want to go to this because people are very. 11 years ago today was live track 63. I want to get to this. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. So this is actually from. We're going to pull this up here. But this actually breaks down why they do Alpine every other year and why Chicago is put in the mix. This is from a earlier stream in the year. You guys can take a listen right here. Chicago did 35,122 for the actual tickets sold. Alpine did 33,922. Now, ticket prices did go up a little bit in 2022, but this is why they go to Chicago every other year. You may say, listen, the venue is in a great location. I've actually been right by it when I was in Chicago last year. I didn't go to it because there was no show, but it's in a great location of the city, but it's a temporary setup. And the reason it's a temporary setup is because there's a clause where you can't have something permanent there. So that's why it's temporary stands. So the lawn there and the rise are pretty bad. If you're not in the pit, just don't go unless you're tall. But the point is, they still sold 35,122 tickets over 2 nights. That's more than Alpine generated, and Alpine is every other year. So for someone like me, I intentionally did not go to Chicago last year. But 2 years ago when Chicago and Milwaukee were the dates, I actually love Milwaukee because I went there during my vacation in between Alpine and Deer Creek. But I literally went to Chicago in 2022, flew into Chicago, then drove to Deer Creek, drove back to Chicago, did Milwaukee Green Bay, and then drove to Alpine because I knew I wanted to catch Alpine. I wanted to see this historic venue. RIP Stevie Ray Vaughan, who's one of my favorite blues players, just a legend. And that's a place where he passed leaving in a helicopter. But I wanted to see the history. There's so many the Grateful Dead, Jimmy Buffett, all these great legends have played Alpine over the years. I wanted to go see DMB, and less people came, but they made more money. They made more money because the Pavilion has a lot of seats, and when those prices go up, they make it out. The lawn sold. My guess is the lawn sold less. Fiddler's. So there you go. That is from a stream where I had tour data from some of the sales and revenue information that was made available. And again, you look at that 33,473 fans in. Oops. Oh, wait, that's the wrong. Let me go back. Sorry, 35,122. And the other thing to keep in mind is with Alpine, that 33,000, these are both over 2 nights, but Alpine is also a venue where some people will buy a lawn ticket just to get the poster and then go back in later and then, put the poster in the car, lock it up and come back in. That's not Chicago. People don't buy a ticket just to get the poster and put it in the car. Most people can't park right by the venue. It's hard to get parking right on site because where it is in Chicago. So even with Alpine, some of that maybe it's only like 100, 200. No, maybe not. Maybe it's only a little bit, but some people do buy extra tickets that helps the numbers go up. But Chicago has more, and it's a less desirable venue from the most fan bases. So that just goes to show you why. And again, 2021, the ticket prices in the fall of 2021. By that I mean like they announced the MSG shows, and Mohegan, Columbus, and MSG were added. Mohegan was rescheduled, but the on sale for the Madison Square Garden tickets were a little bit more pricier than the shows that were rescheduled from 2020 and added in 2021. So that last show, I went to the last show of 2021 full band, which was MSG Night 2. I had to pay more on that face than 2021 Chicago or anyone before that, because that was like technically the 2020 prices. So long story short, even though Alpine had less people, again, the revenue was higher because they raised the ticket price. You tweak up a couple of dollars and multiply it by 30, 40,000 or 30,000 fans and or whatever, what have you, you're going to have more revenue. But Chicago this year will easily dwarf or surpass Alpine in Chicago from 2021. Yeah, that 21 Chicago, 22 Alpine. It will surpass it because prices yet again went up from 22 to 23. So that is something that you, without a doubt, I understand Alpine's the better venue, hands down. People say that it have been to both locals, people who travel and have traveled to both. It's the better venue, right? Without a doubt, it is. We all know that, but that's not the point. Live Nation trying to get that bread. They Chicago. You see how many casuals can come out to a show like this, and the revenue you generate for the city of Chicago, for the hotels. It's just, and logistically, this is right. A great, get right through Chicago. Plenty of highway and things to get things loaded and unloaded and ready to go. Also, Alpine has, like, from a profitability standpoint, Alpine is a venue that only can have so many shows a year. They can't have 20 concerts at Alpine. The locals don't want it. And I've been on those roads, those county roads and small roads, entering and leaving Alpine. And so it's just logistically, they can't have what they have at most amphitheaters, like a Deer Creek. Deer Creek has a lot of shows per year, but it's the roads and the highway and the different things. It's easier to funnel traffic through, and the locals, it's suburban. It's not a rural area. So it's just one of those things. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. But I did want to show those numbers just to make that point. Now, speaking of this, now some people knew this. I didn't look as much into the rumors for Farm Aid. Last year, we also found, well, I found out around this time last year, I went on Sirius XM radio and was interviewed, and Ari said something about, I think he said something about Raleigh. And that's how like, wait a minute, he said. So that's kind of how I realized it. And maybe, it was just an accident, is what it is. But that's how we found, at least I found out last year, was I was on the radio, Sirius XM. Shout out to Ari and Sirius XM. And that's how I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. But I guess there have been some stuff about Deer Creek. I know Jessica S. Let's see if she responded. I think they're out of it. So we'll probably pass on Jessica and Wayne for tonight. But what was that? Yeah. So this year, I guess there were some things, but Jessica kind of put all these things together about where everyone was touring. And let's see. Let me try to find that bookmark. Okay. So this is what Jessica said, and other people had heard rumors about this, right? So it's not just Jessica, and shout out to Jessica who shared this, right? This was back in June 20th. Thinking about Farm Aid, this is pure speculation on my part. Official Farm Aid website says lineup will be Willie Nelson, Mellencamp, Young, Dave and Tim, and Margot Price. So we've had this kind of the core of the lineup was already announced, right? So now this is what Jessica found. Dave and Tim and Mellencamp currently have no shows listed on their websites for late September. Willie and Margot Price have Saturday, September 23rd open. Willie has a show September 16th, and Margot Price has shows September 16th and September 30th. Seems reasonable that Farm Aid will be September 23rd. Based on that, they had it both open. That's what it'll be. Now, location. Willie plays Pine Knob on the 22nd. Margot Price plays Camden on the 22nd. And then Pilgrimage Festival on the 24th. So the 23rd is open, but she's going to sandwich it in. Nathaniel Ratliff is in Milwaukee on 922, off 923, and in Tennessee 924. Bonnie Raitt is in Canada 922. So she's got to get through customs and come back to the United States. And then 924, but off on 923. So essentially, they're going to do that quick flight from Canada over in Deer Creek is in the heartland, but still, you can get out to Canada by a flight pretty quickly. Alpine and Deer Creek do not have shows listed for September 23rd. Tinley and Pine Knob do have shows booked for 9/23. So maybe Farm Aid will be September 23rd at Alpine or Deer Creek, or maybe I'm totally wrong. What do you think? This was the thread that we had. Now, earlier today, shout out to Robin Popovich. Now, this is on Songkick, which will list certain things. Now, the ticket link will go to another website, Live Nation, AXS. They just kind of have, it's an app to figure out about stuff. You can find concerts, live streams, you can find stuff by you. So they have this Farm Aid lineup, and they put Saturday, September 23rd. So this is something, sometimes things are posted by mistake. Remember, we had that ticket website that posted the whole DMB tour. I can't remember if it was like Tickets Now or Tickets That. That was leaked before the band changed its website. So somehow they got that intel and they put it up there. Let's actually, now that we're talking about this, let's try to hit up Jessica real quick, and then we're gonna head out. Listen, I need to get some sleep. As you can't see. Hey, hello, Jessica.
It's Jessica and Jessica.
Oh, how's it going?
Good.
And so Jessica, we were just talking about your theory on Farm Aid from the late June. And
that was some good research, right?
Yes, very thorough research. So we went through that thread, and we just read it off, and lo and behold, as you saw today, Robin Popovich found on Songkick that they had the outdoor Farm Aid 2023 listed here. So what did you think when you saw that today?
I was like, yes, I was right. And also like, dang, I wish that it was at Alpine because it's less driving.
Yes, it is for you. As you come, you went through Deer Creek last weekend from Wisconsin. Now you're going from Wisconsin to Chicago. And what did you think of the show tonight?
It was amazing. Like, it might be in one of my like top most fun shows ever.
And what made?
I would have to agree. I thought tonight was phenomenal.
And what made this show great? Okay, so Sweet, the little uke. What else?
We had really amazing seats, which like super cool. We were like second row, right next to the pit, but we had seats, so we were really close to the stage, see really well, but like not in the pit, which is my worst nightmare. So that was awesome. The people around us were super cool. And like they sounded so good. There was like a little bit where it sprinkled and I got nervous, but then like that blew over.
Can I just interject for a moment?
Yes.
I could feel the bass in my chest, which I have never felt before. Maybe I just didn't realize it, but the speakers and the bass were right by us. I could feel like my chest. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because, in my opinion, they don't turn up Stefan that much. There are special moments at certain venues where I felt the drum kick or I felt the bass. None of them have been at Dave Matthews Band concerts because I think they turned down Stefan. But you guys were also on that side of the stage. Sometimes that happens too, where when you're on the side of Tim or on the side of Stefan or on the side of the horns, you'll be able to feel like that's closer in your mix. And that's just how it is with live audio. Sometimes you have everything mic'd up, but it's just sometimes where you are, you can feel it, but 7 feet the other way and you don't feel that bass. But that's awesome that you were able to feel the bass.
Yeah, it was so cool. I turned to her and I was like, I can feel this in my chest right now, which is something I don't think I recognized feeling before. So cool. What a great show.
And we want to ask you guys about, this has been the question of the night. They end with So Damn Lucky. Was it good? Was it weird? Was it not good? What did you guys think about that song? First time since 2010 it's closed out an encore.
I thought it was great. I mean, people seemed really joyful. There was a lot of dancing in our section. We were dancing. It was great.
It's good.
Didn't bother me.
Yeah, I think some people, they wanted, it made them want more. They wanted something else. I mean, obviously, who doesn't want another song? But I think that's what some people were saying. I personally think it's great because you don't get that song closing shows that often in this era, and it hasn't done it in over a decade. It's been 11 years, 12 years. Wait. Yeah, 12 years. Oh my gosh. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, so that's to me, I'll take that than having another Shake Me Like a Monkey, even a Watchtower. I mean, I've heard that close out so many shows. I'd rather have something unique and say, hey, this may be the only time I hear this, and still play other good stuff like they did tonight. They still had a lot of great songs tonight. So if you end the encore with something unique, I'll take that, because before that I had a bunch of other things. So.
I felt like that was a totally unpredictable show. I don't know. Did my husband win that setlist game again? I didn't look.
Let's see. We'll go to the D. We'll find out live on the air. DMB set list. Let's see. DMB set list game. I don't know if they picked. Let's see. Let's check the chat. Did anyone look at the set list game? I'm looking at the Twitter page that they have, but
he started out strong. I felt like I didn't predict any of those songs. I mean, I got a couple, but good job. I know, and I also feel like the band is really enjoying kind of trolling us a little bit. They're we're gonna play just kidding, it's not that bad.
So it looks like Wayne got third place. Well, he's tied for second. 30. He's got your boy Conservid 34 points. So Cuse _ 41 got 36 points. Matt at Ants got 34, and then W Shat, that's your husband. He got 34, and then the next person below that has 30. So he's tied for second.
Holy fuck. How does he do that?
And listen, I'll say this, Wayne, if you're watching, this it should be celebrated. You should be proud. You should wear this, around your neck or whatever. Wear it around your sleeve or whatever it is. This is incredible that to win the game with the shortened set list last Saturday, and now today come back and hit that third spot. And listen, this is the thing. There's been so many people online. Oh, they're so predictable. I know everything. They're not here. Wayne is number 3. He is picking these more than the alleged experts who say they can pick every Dave. They can pick every Dave show and they know exactly what do you. Okay, where are you on the list? So this is incredible for him.
Right now.
Yeah, this is great to see. You love to see it, and so we're getting to the end of the show. It's past my bedtime, but are you guys going tomorrow?
Well, I am, and Reed is going, and it feels like Jessica's going to get peer pressure into going.
Only as good as you can.
We'll find you a ticket.
No. All right, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Okay, so Jess, what do you want for tomorrow? What are some things? And don't say bye. I'll hang up. But what songs do you want for tomorrow?
You'll hang up on me. Aw. Okay, so no Bayou. How about You and Me?
What? You're breaking up. The phone's breaking up. You said.
I love New Market.
You said you never know, right?
I did. I said you never know. Oh yes.
Stone.
Bruh.
Yes, I would take Stone.
Yes, love the Stone.
Every day. I thought we were gonna get that tonight.
It's Buddy's birthday. You don't why be tortured with a song that doesn't need to be played in this era? I don't care if they say Buddy. We don't need every day. They played good song. For Buddy's birthday, they played a good set list instead of playing every day.
You are harsh. You are going to be hitchhiking to the venue next week, friend.
Wow. Isn't Wayne driving? Well, Wayne's driving, not you.
Well, she tells him what to do.
Oh yeah. I forgot that's your husband. Oh yeah. I forgot. Never mind. Anyway, I forgot.
Boss, even if she's not driving.
It's still. I'm still in year 1 of marriage. I forgot that's how it works. The wife can make that. They can overrule the executive branch. Balance of power. All right. So you're going tomorrow, and you're hoping for some of those things, and we'll see what happens. I think the beauty of this is there's probably 30 songs that I think you could pick if you could just choose any songs from the set. There's 30 songs you could pick to say, yeah, I would love all these, but unfortunately, they're only gonna, they only play 18 to 22 songs, 18 to 21 songs on any given night. But thank you so much for coming on. And we'll look forward to seeing what happens tomorrow night for night 2 of #not Alpine, as people are saying. And even though you have to make the best of what's around, even if you're in this horrible lawn, some people were talking about that today and in the past years that the lawn is pretty bad. It's not.
The lawn is awful there, but
it's like the Chicago Cubs right now. It's just horrible. It's
terrible.
It's like
Bruh.
the Skyway. Oh no, the tollway. That's Illinois. The Skyway is towards Indiana, and I paid all of those tolls when I was in the Midwest last year, and I've heard about them, and I actually got the experience spending my monthly salary in tolls there. So thank you guys for coming on.
Wisconsin, where you can drive on the road for free.
Yeah, and it's like a runway. It's crazy. Like once you get over, it's like it's like the runway pavement. And I think I'm gonna take off. It's like it's like it was like the weirdest thing ever when I was going through. What was that? That was I did North Shore to Green Bay in one shot, and actually the glasses on my face right now were bought in Green Bay, Wisconsin, when my glasses
Yeah, I
broke.
remember that.
Yes, so I drove through. I was driving from the North Shore traffic all the way through the Green Bay, and once you get into Wisconsin, it's like the white runway pavement, and that's usually what I see down south. Like, why isn't it the dark asphalt? Because it's colder, snow. Anyway, neither here nor there. But yeah, once you get into Wisconsin, you know because it looks like you're on a runway for the first like 7 or 8 miles. So, all right, thank you so much again. We got to wrap this stream up. It's almost longer than the actual concert is. Take care.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, so that was Jessica and Jessica. I thought it was going to be Jessica and Ray, but I didn't realize she was going. And we're going to be hanging out and carpooling. Was it Jessica, Wayne, me, and Mrs. Concert Vids? We're going to all be pulling up, tailgating together for the DMB shows in Guilford. So look forward to that. So we want to wish Mr. Arthur Buddy Strong a happy birthday. I have been admittedly Team Buddy from day one of this band. The fact that he was coming in with a background like mine, albeit I am not nearly the professional he is, but coming from the church, coming from the gospel music world, growing up in that environment, that's really what's similar. The environments we grew up in the church. I've always been a Buddy for strong supporter. Want to wish him a happy 43rd birthday. But the thing is that the reason that I believed in him is because I know what it takes, whether you work in the church or whether you play music in the church. It is no easy feat. He had played with Ariana Grande, Usher, he's been in the studio with some talented gospel musicians. But I said, guys, at the time, I know the heartbreak was that there was no violin. And even to this day, even to this week, there's still threads. When is Boyd coming back? Bruh. Oh, when's the violin? I've always said separate those two things, right? Separate those two things because Buddy Strong was added for morale and for a sound that the band was looking to shift towards now that they don't have a violin. Dave is set in his ways. It's not Buddy's fault. Dave is set in his ways. We will probably never have a permanent violin player. Move on. But what Buddy did is I saw the way he raised the morale on stage. Tim was like, you would see like expressive reactions from Tim was usually playing it cool. And Tim loves what he does and he's amazing. But to see Tim really be like, oh my God, and dap up Buddy after a song, to see the smiles on Dave and Carter's faces, Rashawn, Jeff, his morale, his attitude is contagious. I tried to do what Buddy does in my world. I try to bring that joy. I try to bring that happiness, try to bring smiles to people's faces, whether it's my job, whether it's the various things I do in my community, my family. I try to bring that passion and joy and happiness. So we want to wish Buddy a happy birthday. And again, I think this band without him is on a different trajectory. There could be, I don't want to say fights, but there definitely would not be as much joy and motivation to really do what they're doing creatively without Buddy being there, because his energy is contagious to the band. right? I think what happened is the violin, like having the violin there was something that the crowd needed, that we needed as fans. And we thought we always needed or else, right? But Buddy is that equivalent for the band's morale, for everyone on stage to like everyone loves him. And now what's happened over time is he's gotten a following in the crowd, right? He's gotten a lot of people that have his shirts. He's really become a part of his community, and I think he definitely appreciates this community based on how he reacts to us. Every time he walks on stage, he still has that joy, still is grateful for the opportunity to be able to play. And every time he has that phone out and he's like, oh my God, this is God is good. This is amazing. And that's important for a band like this. Because many of these, when you hit 5, 10, 15, 20 years with the band, when Jeff Coffin essentially has been a part of the as many shows or nearly as many shows or even more now than Leroy Moore was for this band, that's a long time to be with DMB. And if you think about if Jeff's been that just as long or longer than Roy for the amount of shows he's been, think about uh Dave, think about Stefan, think about Carter. Buddy's a morale booster. He brings joy, he brings happiness, and without him there is no the band is not where it is today. So you could talk about adding a violin, subtracting, but to take Buddy away from this equation, I remember going to the Gorge and thinking the weekend was over. I remember going and thinking they said there's the alternative format. I don't know what's going to happen. And then we see Carter's gone and Stefan is gone. Who's going to take and fill in the spots? And Buddy Strong, just as any gospel musician does, hops from one instrument to another, from that instrument back to this instrument, gets his gets his piano tech on to play certain stuff on the keys and organ so that he can then continue to play the drums. Right? The band has changed its sound, but the joy that they have on stage and how tight they are is attributed to the addition of Buddy Strong generating morale boost. So happy birthday to Buddy. Hope he has a good day, or now it's almost over. Actually, it is over in most time zones here in the United States, but salute to Buddy Strong. We love you, man. We appreciate all you do. All right. Speaking of congratulations and shout outs, we're going to end this show showing Chicago. And we're also going to end this show with Goose. That's right. We're ending this with Goose. Goose played SPAC. Goose just played SPAC. And this is huge for Goose. They are a jam band, and they're a jam band that people thought they would fall into a status quo and they would bottom out. And we still don't know the future of Goose, right? They still have to continue to keep crowds coming. But this band just played SPAC as a headliner. This is something you think Pigeons playing ping pong have done this?
Nope.
You think Spatford has done this?
Nope.
Not even their heroes in a band I love, Humphreys McGee, has headlined SPAC.
Nope.
And I love Humphreys. Shout out to Humphreys, Brendan, Jake, Joel, Chris Myers, Andy, right? I love Humphreys. Even they haven't done this. 10 years ago, Peter was here to see Fish as a fan. And this is what they had. Now, is this long completely like Dead and Company? No. But Goose has connected a great cross-section of indie rock fans, true jam band proper fans, crossover fans like me who like jam bands and other stuff. They have connected so many people And they have such a unique feeling where, to me, they feel like an indie rock band for one song or for a studio version. And then they have jams that are like a jam band should do. This is a train, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. This is a band that's gotten opportunities. Trey doing a tour, Tab and Goose, which I went to that tour. Trey sitting in, Big Boy from Outkast sitting in with them. This is a unique band on the rise. If you have a chance to see them, see them. I've been fortunate to go to 2 shows for them. I want to get to more. I was almost going to go to this show, but I got a lot of running around and decided to pass. But if they come back to SPAC, I'm going to do everything possible to go. And this is a beautiful thing for the future of jam bands. Fish got this hate from Deadheads. Now some Fish fans are hating on Goose. But we'll close this show with Slow Ready, studio version, but it's a collage I made the week this album Dripfield came out. And I made this as I was going through Chicago. I actually tie a lot of this album to running and traveling through the Midwest, because the day the album came out, I flew into Chicago and then drove down to Indy, came back to Chicago, Wisconsin, etc. And I know about Pigeon. Listen, I know about Pigeons playing ping pong because my friends were seeing them well before their rise. Like, they were doing small shows, and they were at this festival in Greenfield, Massachusetts, either Strange Creek or Wormtown. There's 2 festivals a year there, and this is before PPP was PPP. But Pigeons playing ping pong isn't they're not touching Goose as far as the way that they're able to captivate a large amount of people. Goose is definitely on the rise. Whether you love them or hate them, you got to put some respect on their name. Shout out to Big Goose Twitter. What up? BGT. What up? Let's see. We're going to open this thing here. So, again, we're going to close out. This is Slow Ready by Goose. If you have not had a chance to check out Goose, check them out because they're definitely special. They're not the typical jam band. Yeah, they do have some similar qualities, but they also feel like an indie rock band. And their studio stuff is great in their own right. They have good songs. Like a lot of jam bands, they have good jams. They don't have good songs. Goose has good songs. All right. Thank you guys for watching. It's your boy ConserViz34. Slow Ready. Peace. See you tomorrow. Oh, free Dodo. Free my homie Dodo. It's been locked up. Trying to get that full band Dodo from DNB.
Baby, on the way, I was melting like ice on the back of my spine. Where we going tonight? You know I saw that eye in the corner of the light, playing games with my mind. It's going down.